Good evening. I'm Elena Michael and I'm the co-founder and director of the #NotYourPorn campaign. I'm so sad that I can't be there with you this evening because I was really looking forward to being able to speak to you in more depth about the work that I do and the work that Not Your Porn does. I am, however, incredibly grateful. Thank you so much to the Frost & Sullivan Institute for recognising my work and Not Your Porn's work with the Visionary Leadership Award. If I can just take a few minutes of your time to explain Not Your Porn's story and explain what we're doing to influence the image-based sexual abuse movement both in the UK and internationally. So what is Not Your Porn? Not Your Porn is a grassroots survivor-led campaign fighting to protect non-consenting adults, under 18s and sex workers from image-based sexual abuse. We were born out of a necessity. In 2019, Kate Isaacs, who's the founder of the campaign, set up Not Your Porn because she was supporting a friend of hers who had discovered that her iCloud account had been hacked and intimate videos had been uploaded non-consensually to Pornhub. Within a matter of hours, those videos were the top 5 trending in the UK. Kate was desperately trying to support her friend to get these videos taken down, but was receiving no response from the company. And by the time they eventually were, several months later, the damage was already done. This was during the days that Pornhub had a download button. So these videos that had non-consensually been uploaded had been downloaded by hundreds of strangers on the internet, hundreds of thousands of times. A few months later, I joined Not Your Porn, and Kate and I have built it to what it is today. We are, as it stands currently, a core management team of 3, and we also have a wider survivor campaigner group of about 7, and then we have a much larger community of survivors and allies that we call upon to help us with our legal, policy and media work. In terms of the areas of work that Not Your Porn covers, we do a lot of different things and we wear a lot of different hats. But the main ones are, firstly, always about survivor support and empowerment. Everything that we do is about facilitating survivors to campaign and getting the people that need to hear their stories to listen. What we're doing is revolutionary because we are designing a new way of running a movement and an organisation to meaningfully get survivors to be able to engage in policy, legal and also social change discussions, which sometimes can seem incredibly performative. We also are all about peer-to-peer support, but also providing immediate triage support. So we link survivors who contact us to their support services either in the UK or whatever their country may be. And if they need follow-on support and they want to be part of a community, they can join Not Your Porn. Secondly, what we do is about education and awareness. We go into schools and we give talks. We also work with key stakeholders or any other intervention points like the police to try and get people, and also in companies, to try and get people to understand that this is everybody's problem and everybody needs to be educated on it. Thirdly, we work with tech companies to advise them on their safety procedures. And fourthly, we work on legal and policy reform. Now, just to talk about Not Your Porn's impact. We may be small and we may be grassroots. We may be unfunded, although hopefully not for much longer. And we may also do this around our day jobs. But that has in no way limited our impact. So here are a few of the things we've achieved in our short time of existing. Firstly, we've helped over 450 survivors, both in the UK and internationally, to access life-changing, vital support services. We've also, in the UK, helped several survivors to have their cases re-examined by the Crown Prosecution Service, which is in 2 cases has resulted in convictions. In terms of looking to the future, we're currently working on a pilot project with the Revenge Porn Helpline, a leading specialist in support services for image-based sexual abuse in the UK, to implement a psychological support service for survivors of image-based sexual abuse, which would be the first of its kind. Secondly, we have used strategic communications to force corporate accountability. Our investigation, for example, with the Sunday Times into child sexual exploitation material on Pornhub led to Pornhub's key advertising partner, Unilever, and also payment provider, PayPal, into placing stricter conditions in terms of their contractual relationship in relation to the harms on their sites. Also in 2019, our campaigning over the years led to Pornhub deleting millions of its videos after there was mounting pressure on the site to clean its act up. This also resulted in the removal of the download button. This isn't just limited to Pornhub. We've also placed an investigation with Rihanna Croxford from BBC Investigations into OnlyFans, which is called Under the Skin of OnlyFans, that led to the company re-examining its business model. Thirdly, we use strategic comms to influence the dialogue and narrative in the UK. We are doing something revolutionary about being a survivor-led movement and being able to shape those partnerships, key partnerships with media and other key institutions like government and the police. Through using strategic comms, we're able to create a more holistic view and also able to facilitate survivors to tell their stories in an empowering and impactful way, as well as respectful. Finally, but not least of all, we've also been doing a lot of work both internationally and in the UK on legal and policy reform. We consulted on the Online Safety Act in the UK and similarly the EU's Digital Safety Act, and we're currently working on a huge revolutionary campaign with Glamour UK in partnership with Glamour UK, End Violence Against Women Coalition and Professor Claire McGlynn. We're asking the UK government to implement a dedicated image-based sexual abuse law, which will be the first of its kind internationally. This would plug all of the gaps in the current system and work not only towards giving justice to survivors, but also implementing preventative measures to curb this abusive behaviour online. In its current stage, we've, about 2 months ago, backed a petition led by survivor campaigner Jodie, not her real name, to call the government to act. As it stands today, we have over 66,000 signatures, but we need over 100,000 if we want the government to really take this seriously and implement this law. There's still so much to do, and we're only getting started. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.